Hello and welcome to Minecraft Levitated. Now, in the last episode, we kind of started diving into Botania, trying to get ourselves to the Clayconia, and that is what we are going to work on today. But, as you can see, something has changed. Now, I went ahead and did a little bit more exploration. We went ahead and crafted up the Mana Steel armor, which is just Mana Steel. This is simply iron dropped into mana. So we crafted ourselves up a full set. I did get myself a shovel, and I put some luck on it because I was trying to see if we could do the same thing that we do with sand, or with stone, with sand, which we cannot, which is unfortunate. I did grab one of these pickaxes that we found inside of one of the end cities so that we could mine the cobblestone, and we just went ahead and turned that into sand. I also got myself this purple crystal shulker box. This thing has a huge inventory, and we are going to use this as kind of a backpack because we had 2 shulker shells sitting in the chests. I also went and upgraded these chests to the crystal version. We have a mod pack in here called At Iron Chests, and basically we can go right here to the wood to iron chest upgrade, and that is simply a piece of wood with iron. And then we can click this on any of our wood chests. We go then from the iron to gold, which is this recipe here. The gold to diamond, which was a little cheaper. And then we can go from diamond to crystal with a little bit of glass and obsidian. So we use some of our glass, or some of our sand, and smelt it down to glass. We also use some of our obsidian to make these 2 chests, just so our miscellaneous items and our blocks basically have a spot to go. Now, I do need to get some of these guys out of here and moved over to here, but in this chest we have kind of our richities. We will be pulling out some of this string and stuff like that. I just haven't gone through and organized it, but this is our Botania chest right now. We did move the stairs, and upstairs I have set myself up a couple of chests. Nothing in them at the moment, but there will be eventually. We did build this doorway, and then we put a little staircase up there. And other than that, not much has changed. So today, what I want to do is I want to get to this quest right here, the Clayconia. So in order for us to make the Clayconia, we are going to have to use our petal apothecary with 2 light gray petals, 1 gray, and 1 cyan, and then this Rune of Earth. Now, one thing that we did was get all of the different color of flowers. I did do that off camera, and we're set up there. As far as the Rune of Earth goes, this is going to call, we need a Runic Alter, which is a pretty easy craft, just some living rock and a mana pearl or mana diamond. Let's see. There's a second recipe here. Oh, it just uses the other mushroom. So we need a mana powder, a mana steel ingot, some stone, some coal, and a mushroom. So I have the stone, I have the block of coal, and I did get a mushroom. These are pretty easy. Oops. These are pretty easy to create. It is simply an embiotic around the pure daisy will get us the brown mushroom, and then we could turn this into the red one if we so chose. I'm going to put these back down here and clean this out, as well as throwing these out. So the last thing that we're going to need is mana powder and mana steel for this craft. But before we do that, we should make this Runic Altar. Now, to use this Runic Altar, it's going to require mana. So we are going to need this guy right here, a mana spreader. So we're going to need ourselves a gold ingot, and we're going to need another mystical petal, which we have plenty of. So let's craft this bad boy up. Should be something like this. A gold ingot, our mystical petal, and we have a mana spreader. The other thing that we're going to need is, almost got lost there, this mana pearl here, so that we can actually make the Runic Altar. Nice. Now, these 2 things to use, we are going to need what is called the Wand of the Forest. Now, this is just living wood twigs and any 2 colored mystical petals or the flowers themselves. So to do that, we're going to need 1, 2, 3 twigs. In an order like that, we can put the petals like this. You can see we've got some some green, red, and brown here. I think it changes the way the petals are. The red's at the top, the black's at the top. It doesn't really matter. This guy is a very important thing for, what do you call it? Botania. Yep, so it can tell us how much mana's in our mana pool and things like that. Now, something really neat in my exploration is I found one of those black lotuses, but it was called a blacker lotus. And I wonder if it shows up. Yeah, this guy right here. This blacker lotus is better than the black lotus, and it had quite a bit of mana in it. And then I also went and got another pool of mana with the Enbiotics, and we got this thing set up for what we want to do today. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to place this mana spreader down, and then we're going to place our Runic Altar. Now you can see that these guys are connected when we have the Wand of the Forest in. This is got these little green dots placing over to here. So this is grabbing the mana from here and putting it into this Runic Altar. So now all that we need to do is place our items on this. And for that, we are going to need a piece of mana steel, and then we're going to need a mana powder, which fortunately for us can be made with kind of any powder. So pestle and mortar with this guy will get us the floral white powder. Throw that guy in there. We'll grab these two items, and all we have to do is queue them in here. And bam! So now we can just right-click these onto our Runic Altar in any order with the block of coal. And you will see on the left-hand or the right-hand side there, it's a little clock that is going green, and that is making our rune. Now we are going to need a piece of living rock once this is done. Like this craft is done now. And we need to queue up a piece of living stone and then right-click that with our Wand of the Forest, and now we have our Rune of Earth. Nice, and we got an advancement made. I'm not sure where that was. But yes, now we can make the Clayconia. So we are going to need to grow some light gray. We're going to need 1 gray. This we're going to have to go get some bone meal. And then we can throw all of those in this petal apothecary and make us the Clayconia. Okay, now that that is done, we can fill our petal apothecary with some water. We can throw in our rune, our gray petal, our cyan petal, and our 2 gray petals. And with a toss of a seed, we now have the Clayconia. Now this guy is awesome. We can place it down, and I want about a half a stack of sand. We're going to go ahead and place this in there. And basically, as we place down sand, it is going to make clay for us. And once we get our hands on a bunch of clay, we can smelt this up and actually start getting some trees growing. And we no longer have to harvest any wood. And the other really nice thing is from these wormwood saplings, if we look those up, these guys right here, they have a 20% chance of dropping apples, and we can finally move away from this coarse fruit, which isn't terrible food. Apples have the same hunger and saturation. It's just we won't be teleporting all the way around the map. So we're going to need to get ourselves a few pieces of coal. Something like that. And we're going to let this smelt up into bricks, and then we are going to make the hopping bonsais right here. So it's a bonsai pot and a hopper. Bonsai pot is just some bricks. And my plan is to grow some wormwood saplings, some wisdom saplings, and these mineral saplings. These mineral saplings will drop crystallized mineral chunks. It'll drop this mineral wood. It'll drop these mineral berries. And basically this right here is kind of the base foundation for integrated dynamics. And something that I want to get to very soon is going to be this mechanical squeezer, which does the same squeezing for us, but automatically. It's a piece of obsidian, a diamond, and these energy batteries, which requires all of this crystallized mineral chunks, and this is just 9 more, so we want to get this going. This guy right here was actually created by dropping a wormwood sapling into a mana pool with the alchemy catalyst. So we need one more. That is why these chests are set up upstairs, so we can start growing trees. And I'm going to let this all smelt down and get us some hopping bonsais. Now, one thing we forgot to mention in the last clip was we need some kind of dirt or grass to grow certain saplings. So it's always good to check in the bonsai pot, and you will see here that regular dirt takes 110% as far as growth time, and the drop chance is 90%, whereas a grass block is 100 and 100. So we're going to want to get ourselves some grass for the mineral sapling, and we're going to want it for the wisdom sapling as well. Now, the wormwood tree is a little bit different, as it's the Stygian grass or endstone. So we need endstone for that, which is easy to do. Now, to pick up our grass over here, the only way that we could break it right now with our hand, or we could get silk touch on our shovel. But another way to do it that's a little bit easier is this guy right here. It's called the trowel. We need a button, we need a stick, and we need a piece of iron. Piece of iron got. Stone button, easy enough. And we already have the stick on us. Button, iron, stick, trowel. Sweet. So this right here will actually allow us to get the grass blocks without needing silk touch. So that's very, very helpful little bit of information. Another thing to note when messing around with the hopping bonsais is you actually have to watch what is above them. So if we were to place our wisdom sapling in here, you're going to see that the growth on the left-hand side does not go up. And that is because these blocks right here are preventing it from growing. So now if we look, this thing is slowly growing, and it grows little trees inside the pot. And once they're fully grown, they will deposit their items in this chest. So we will automatically be getting wood and sticks and leaves and more saplings and all kinds of stuff. But most importantly, we're going to fall down a hole. Most importantly, we're going to be getting apples from these trees here, so we can get away from the coarse fruit. That's why I kind of rushed to getting the Clayconia and things like that, and rush through the quest line, so that we would not need a food source for a while, and something better than coarse fruit. Alright, now that that is done and we are growing trees and have a little bit better food source, I would like to pivot back to some of these quests here, the crafting a nature's compass and crafting a waystone. So a nature's compass is going to use one wormwood sapling, one endbiotic, one Stygian creeper, one coarse flower, 4 mana steel, and a compass. So we're going to need ourselves a piece of redstone. We're going to need 8 iron. 4 of these bad boys are going to need to be placed in here. And now we should be able to craft this thing up. So a compass, done. Nature's compass, done. Now the neat thing about the nature's compass is we can use this to find all these different biomes. Okay, birch forest, cold beach, cold taiga, and this we can actually search. So if we looked up like an acidic, sort by name, info. Does it have? This is all the overworld stuff. Aha, there we go. I clicked, and now acidic plains. So we got lucky and started buying acidic plains, but if we wanted to look for this, we could click right here, start search, and it'll tell you the coordinates in the left-hand side to the nearest acidic plains biome, which is right over there. Distance 143 blocks. So this is really nice if you don't luck out and start in a Stygian biome and the acidic biome right next to one another. You can use this to scroll through. We should have the Stygian biome somewhere. Yep, right there, Stygian growth. Can search for that. Nearest distance, 0, because we are in the biome. So that is that crafted up. We're not really going to use this because we have all of the biomes that are by us. But the next thing that we want to craft up is this waystone. So this is going to require some purpur, some endstone bricks, and then we need this guy right here, the warp stone. So 4 mana pearls, 1 mana diamond, and 4 floral purple dye. And we're going to need to craft up 2 of these. So let me get the items together. Alright, we should have everything that we need to make 2 of these, and we do. And we can make 2 waystones. Now these things are pretty awesome. We can set one of these up, and we're going to need to build a staircase just for a temporary house. And we can name these. So, home, sweet, that's not sweet, sweet home, done. And now we could take this one over to the end city if we wanted to, and we can name this the end city. This is just proof of concept. And if we click on this, we can go home sweet home, teleports us here to the end city, no big deal. Now, this waystone will cost experience levels the further away it is, so we can go cross dimension. Once we get into the nether, we could place one there and not have to go through a portal anymore. I can set this thing all the way over in the acidic plains biome, wherever we really wanted to. I could set this thing back at the main island with the ender dragon. But yeah, for now, we're just going to pack this guy away. Actually, probably, you know what, it can go in there. Now, the next thing that we're going to be looking into is mana generation. So we cannot rely on this mana pool forever. Eventually this thing will run out. So we need to start making our own mana. We could take the N-biotics that we have in this chest right here and keep going back and forth to that mana pool, but eventually that will be worn out as well. So the best thing for us to do is make these guys right here, Endo Flames. Now what these Endo Flames do is they will take smeltable items and they will convert them into mana via a mana spreader. So since we've got this mana spreader here, I went ahead and made a second one. I made some more mana pools, including this one here, and then I made this mana splitter. Now this mana splitter is pretty simple. It's just 6 living rock and 2 mana steel, and what this is going to do is evenly distribute the mana across the mana pools. Now this is going to need a pretty big area to be built in, and so I was thinking this little back section right here, we could start digging it out. This is where I went down to mine, and you know, this wouldn't be too bad. We could just start kind of hammering away with our pickaxe. But why do that when there is a much better way for us to mine? So with the tool station right here, we don't have a lot of different options. We have a pickaxe, a shovel, an axe, a all-in-one tool. This is a shovel and an axe. We've got a hoe, a sword, a long sword, a rapier, a frying pan, battle sign, a short bow, and arrow. That's it. But we can upgrade this guy. And we've had it bookmarked in our inventory for a very long time for a tool forge. Now this requires a tool station, 4 blocks of any steel tool forge. So we could make it out of energetic alloy, vibrant alloy, redstone alloy, conductive iron, pulsating iron. We can make it out of redstone and glowstone, uranium, inderium, basically everything. There's tin, nickel, zinc, silver, lead. You guys get the idea. There's an iron one. We can make it out of night slime, aluminum, brass. I'm going to go with copper just because we have a decent amount of copper. At least enough to make 4 blocks worth. So let's shift-click this recipe in here and make our 4 blocks. But the next thing that this recipe requires is this seared brick. Now this seared brick is made by smelting grout, and grout is made with gravel, sand, and clay, which is nice because we have all of the things needed to craft that up. So let's craft up our 2 bits of grout. Now we're going to, 1 grout equals 1 seared brick. We need 3 seared bricks total, so we actually need 12 grout. But they come in batches of 8, so we're going to smelt those up, and then we're going to make a tool forge, and I will show you guys the neat thing that we can build with that. So we can make this right here. It's called a hammer. The hammer is a broad binding tool. It harvests blocks in a wide range, also effective against the undead. So we need 2 large plates. We need 1 hammerhead and 1 tool rod. So we went ahead and made a firewood large plate and then an end large plate, just because we have kind of a limited selection of tools here, or parts anyway. If we go over to the pattern chest, we'll take this guy out. We'll put that in there, put this guy in there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some wood just for the ecological modifier, and I should only need 1 stick. No. I should only need 1 plank. There we go. Now this thing is pretty nice. Oh, it's not a tool rod, it is a tough tool rod. That is this guy right here. Let's put the tough tool rod in there, and we'll grab a little bit more wood and make this guy. Looks like it requires 3? Yes. Okay, now back to the hammer. Tough tool rod, and we can move these to either side. It'll change which side this firewood is on, but this has auto smelt, ecological. It's pretty much the same as our pickaxe here. So the other thing that I want to do is take out this sharpening kit, and we're going to go ahead and put in some obsidian. Grab a piece of flint. I know we have 1. There it is. And we can go ahead and upgrade our tools so it has a cobalt mining level and also has a lot better durability. The other thing that I'm going to do with this is grab the last little bit of lapis that we have, and we're going to get rid of some of this stuff out of our inventory. And we're going to put a little bit of luck on it. Not much, but just a little bit. And now, we still have 2 modifiers. We could put some diamonds on it to make it a little bit more durable. But this thing will mine a 3x3 area instead of a 1x1. So we can dig ourselves out a pretty big section rather quickly. And as a matter of fact, let's look at the redstone that we have. We might go ahead and put a little bit of quickness on this. We'll use up all the redstone. We're going to go mining with this thing off camera, but this thing now gives us a wide selection, and the cool thing with the luck on it, and the auto smelt, we can get our things that we need and tear apart this world, it looks like. I'll mine this guy up with this pickaxe, and then we'll fix the hole in the wall. Oh, looks like I'm getting all kinds of holes in ceilings. Yep, so now we can get a nice big area opened up for ourselves to place down our mana generation. Okay, so we made our first Endo Flame, and what's really neat about this is once you place down another water, you can simply right-click, and then queue a seed in there, place more water, right-click, and it makes it easy for you to get these flowers a lot quicker if you're doing what I'm doing, and I'm making 8 of them. So there we go. 2 more to go. 1 more to go. Perfect. Now we have 8 Endo Flames. Alright, so the last thing that we want to do today is set up another one of these little setups here so we can start producing mana in these mana pools. And this is a pretty easy little setup with these Endo Flames. We made these open crates. When fed with a hopper, they will drop items onto the floor. Now, as you can see, that just drops the items out until it runs out of items. But we can easily control what it does via redstone, which is why we have this little pressure plate here. So we got a few pieces of redstone dust running here, so we can run it into this block. We can put down a torch. With a block, torch, block there, block on the front, not here, and then one little piece of dust, and that is all the redstone required. We can place our open crate here, our there we go, hopper like that, and now this thing will be controlled. Let's see, let's close that up. We'll put our Endo Flames down. We'll need a mana spreader, and then we need to take this mana spreader, shift right click, and then shift right click onto this guy so that it is feeding into the mana splitter, and once this makes a mana, it will evenly distribute across these 4 here. So let's go ahead and shove this wood into here. We will grab these wormwood logs here to put into here. Oh, you saw that side work. This side should work. There we go. So now this is producing a little bit of mana, not a lot, but it's going to be enough to eventually fill these guys up, provided we feed this with wood. And what I want set up here is basically we have our alchemy catalyst underneath this mana pool. We have this mana pool here and this mana pool here with nothing in it, and eventually this one I want to put the conjuration catalyst underneath it. But we need to get into a little bit further into Botania before we can do that. And then these 2 mana pools will be basically like our Runic Altar. This guy right here will probably have a mana spreader off of this feeding to this so we can make more runes. Because the next thing that we need to make is going to be this Terrestrial Agglomeration plate. This allows us to make mana steel, and this is going to require a rune of water, a rune of earth, a rune of mana, a rune of air, and a rune of fire. We have the rune of earth to make this thing. But these other ones, we're going to have to do some stuff like the Rune of Fire. This is the typical recipe right here, but we can't get to the nether to get the nether brick or the nether wart. So we're going to have to use the firewood and the dragon's breath crafting recipe here. Rune of Water is pretty easy. Sugarcane is very easy. We can even put it in a bonsai pot. It's just a Stygian creeper into mana with the alchemy catalyst. So that one's going to be real easy to make. The Rune of Air, we need to get this feather. Carpet should be easy. We just got to get some string. And a Rune of Mana is very, very easy. So let me put away some bits here. And let us do this little quest right here, and we should be able to make a bed as well because we've been collecting some string. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. And we just need a little bit of wood, and we should be able to do the bed. Did I seriously put the wool away and not the string? I did. Okay, we crafted a bed. That was easy enough. Now to make this feather, right here it says you can't just snap your fingers and summon a bird out of thin air, but I've heard magic can bring anything to life, even a piece of paper. You happen to have some mana, if you happen to have some mana laying around, so get a feather. So what we need to do is we need to take this paper, we need to turn it into a mana infused paper, and basically we got to fold this thing. So you shift right click onto the crafting station, and this will tell you unfold the paper and fold each of the top corners into the center line. So put it into slot 5. This will fold it. It says put it into slot 8. Put it into slot 2. Slot 6. Slot 7. Slot 5 again. And there's a paper airplane. So shift right click to send the paper into the sky. And we should get ourselves a feather. Just like that. Nice. So the next thing that we're going to need to do is to make all of these runes. And we're going to need to get over to the Ender Dragon and collect... Yeah, we've been doing some mining, some serious mining. Anyway, we're going to need to go over and collect some Dragon's Breath, which means I'm going to need to get some more cobblestone. I'm going to need to get some bottles and things like that. No, I do not have any more glass. But that's kind of where we're going to end it today. We've been going for a little bit. I think the last couple of episodes have been pretty long, so we're going to shorten this one up just a little bit. Next time we will go over to the Ender Dragon, get some obsidian while we're over there. We're not going to kill the Ender Dragon, we're just going to get its breath and then dip back out. We're going to make this agglomeration plate, we'll make the coke oven, we'll start getting into some Terrestrial, and then getting into this Alfheim portal will help us along pretty well, because we can make, let's see, no, it's not mana armor, it's at botania armor? We can make this guy, the Elementium, that's what it's called. We can make this Elementium armor, which is a step up from the armor that we are currently wearing, just a little bit. Ooh. Yep, so we've got a few things to do. We should be able to get to kind of here. The Orchid Indium, this will turn the endstone into ores. And then once we start moving into this section here, it's going to be a pretty quick jump to the end. Well, we got to go through a little bit of deep mob learning, but yep. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Levitated. As always, if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, leave a comment. While you're down there, check out the description for all of the different ways to follow me, and I will see you on the next one.